Assalamualaikum and welcome to this sharing session on the art of visionary leadership. I'm Hussein Osman, author of the book Mahathir, The Art of Political Leadership. This video presentation is the first of a 10 series in part 1 that based on chapter 1 of the book. The book is published under the Amazon Kindle Direct publishing platform in two formats, the ebook and the paperback. Viewers interested to purchase the book, please click the link below. I strongly recommend you do it after we finish watching this video. In this first series, we will be discussing the topic of new era of Malaysia's leadership. Two most important events were recorded in Malaysian political history between 2018 to 2020. First, the country's longest ruling party, Barisan Nasional or National Front, was defeated in May 2018 14th general election by a newly formed opposition pact, the Pakatan Harapan or the Alliance of Hope. Second, having ruled the country for over 21 months, the Pakatan Harapan government was finally collapsed when Prime Minister Mahathir decided to resign from the post on February 24th, 2020. A week later, a new government called Perikatan Nasional or National Alliance was formed when Muhyiddin Yassin, Mahathir's right-hand man, sworn in as the 8th Prime Minister. Several interesting facts seem to be odd enough to digest. First, Mahathir, the leader of the opposition pact, has for many years been the leader of the ruling party, UMNO and Barisan Nasional. He was the fourth Prime Minister, the President of UMNO and the Chairman of the Barisan Nasional for over 22 years from 1981 to 2003. Second, the formation of Pakatan Harapan, which comprised of four main opposition parties, People Justice Party, PKR, the Democratic Action Party, DAP, and two newly formed parties, National Trust Party, Amanah, and Malaysian United Indigenous Party, Bersatu. All are indeed inspired by the shared goals to topple Barisan Nasional government. Third and most interesting fact, the coalition is made of leaders whom at one time considered as titans and arch enemies in Malaysian politics. Mahathir of Bersatu on one side and Anwar Ibrahim of PKR, Lim Kit Siang of DAP and Muhammad Sabu of Amanah on the other side. They were once at the opposing ends, but the slogan Save Malaysia from becoming the failed state united them together. Pakatan Harapan wins, however, short-lived. They were in power for less than 2 years, not even half of the parliamentary term. On February 24th, 2020, Mahathir tendered a resignation letter to His Royal Highness the Yang di-Pertuan Agong. His resignation as the Prime Minister, according to the Federal Constitution, had inevitably dissolved the Pakatan Harapan cabinet and government. Mahathir, however, should not be blamed for his decision since he had lost the support from the members of parliament. According to the federal constitution, Mahathir should maintain the minimum support of 112 members of parliament to stay in power. Unfortunately, more than 30 members of parliament from Pakatan Harapan had decided to leave the pact and left Mahathir with less than 100 seats to maintain his post. Infighting among leaders and unsettled issues related to the selection of ministers and deputy ministers, as well as the unilateral decision made by Mahathir and his party Bersatu, are among the reasons for the Pakatan Harapan decline and fall. It was shocking news to their supporters despite early predictions and disturbing alarms by observers. The event took place during the COVID-19 pandemic outbreak in Malaysia. It was amazing to see the historic victory of the opposition pact led by Mahathir. By the standard of Barisan Nasional Alliance, the opposition pact is comparatively loose in terms of political idealism. Anwar Ibrahim, Lim Kit Siang, and Muhammad Sabu had already been working together since 1999 during the 10th general election under the banner of a Barisan Alternative or Alternative Front, and later under the banner of Pakatan Rakyat or People's Alliance in the 12th general election in 2008. Their liberal political idealism are comparatively compatible. Anwar's PKR working towards institutional reformation, good governance and justice. Kit Siang's DAP with the Malaysian Malaysia concept and equality among multiracial society. And Muhammad Sabu's Amanah with integrity, trust and universal Islam. Mahathir's Bersatu, on the other hand, is a race-based party that is working towards strengthening the position of the Malays and indigenous people. Bersatu appeared to be incompatible with the other three component parties, especially DAP. However, the willingness of PKR, DAP, and Amanah leaders to set aside their party interests and idealistic differences to work with Mahathir is remarkable. They had also shown great courage to trust Mahathir by proposing him for the appointment of the seventh Prime Minister. Winning the general election is the most desirable outcome for the Pakatan Harapan's struggle. But that is not all and ultimately not the end in itself. To manage the country properly, to repair the damages caused by the mismanagement of the previous government, and to uphold their election promises are indeed among the most challenging tasks for Pakatan Harapan. Ultimately, this is also the most challenging task for Mahathir himself, who, at the age of 92, was elected as the seventh Prime Minister. In 2018, he holds the record as the world's oldest elected head of state. But that's certainly meaningless if he could not perform and meet the people's expectation. To perform the duty of a prime minister for the second time after more than 15 years out of office and at the non-engineering age is certainly a challenging task. Far more challenging is that he is working with a new team, the team that only recently formed. After a year in power, complaints are all over the place, especially through social media, upon the deficiencies of the new Pakatan Harapan government. Most of the election promises in Pakatan Harapan manifesto were seen by many, including their own supporters, as nowhere to be fulfilled. New ministers and their deputies are seen to be incompetent, and most of them are not to the Mahathir's standard. Overlooking the four by-elections in 2018, the support of the people for Pakatan Harapan government is comparatively intact, if not growing better. Unfortunately, 2019 and 2020 had shown a different story. The support began to decline. Apart from failures to win some seats in 2019 and 2020 by-elections, they have also lost their two seats. The result has sent a clear message of dissatisfaction among Malay voters. Observers and political analysts have different views on the declining support of Pakatan Harapan in several by-elections in 2019 and 2020. Some view as a result of high racial polarization and hatred campaigns by opposition parties and politicians. Others view the voters' negative perceptions of the Pakatan Harapan's administration. A great number of political analysts look into the internal conflicts and crises in Pakatan Harapan itself, especially regarding the Prime Minister's succession plan from Mahathir to Anwar Ibrahim. A survey conducted by the Merdeka Center in August 2018 reveals the majority of people, 67%, were satisfied with the Pakatan Harapan government. Unfortunately, the survey by the same body in March 2019 reveals the declining of public satisfaction to only 39%. The declining of public opinion goes hand in hand with internal conflicts involving Pakatan Harapan leaders from PKR and Bersatu. The situation turned tense on February 21st, 2020 during the Pakatan Harapan Presidential Council meeting to decide on the date of power transition from Mahathir to Anwar. In the end, Mahathir was given full freedom to decide on the date of the transition sometime after the APEC meeting in November 2020. The next 2 days, the nation was left to wonder what is happening to the country's leadership. Political parties were seen to organize confidential meetings in different venues around Kuala Lumpur and Petaling Jaya. Leaders from opposition parties were seen to be joining the meetings. The next day, on February 24th, 2020, Mahathir tendered his resignation letter to His Royal Highness the Yang di-Pertuan Agong. In his live telecast on February 26, 2020, Mahathir addressed the nation and explained some of the reasons that forced him to resign. Among other things, he had lost the support from members of parliament. His party Bersatu left Pakatan Harapan and joining UMNO to form a new coalition. This is against his will and principle. He is willing to continue serving as the Prime Minister but could not accept UMNO to join the new coalition. For this reason, he said he decided to resign. The power struggle went on for the next 3 days before finally Muhyiddin Yassin was appointed as the eighth Prime Minister on March the 1st, 2020. Speaking to the media after the appointment of Muhyiddin, Mahathir expressed his disappointment over Muhyiddin's betrayal and Azmin Ali's agenda. Mahathir had also blamed Anwar for his impatient acts of pushing him to decide on the power transition bill. 2018 to 2020 is ultimately the year of Mahathir. He had the opportunity to continue his legacy, but he chose to resign. In his address to the nation on February 26, 2020, he said, "I resigned because I did not want power and the position to be the be-all and end-all of my intentions. To me, power and position are a means to an end, and our objective is the good of the country." It was certainly a powerful message echoed among the people. He proved again that he is the only quote-unquote dictator in the world willingly relinquish the highest position in the country twice without having forced to do so. We will explore further some basics about his leadership in the next videos before we move further to learn his unique leadership learning approach. My explanation might be brief, and at some points I may skip the crucial points and miss the main lesson. I would strongly suggest that you get a copy of the book and enjoy the passion of reading by yourself. To get the copy of the book from Amazon bookstore and further information on our leadership training, please click the links below. And to get the notification on my next videos, please subscribe, like and share this channel. Till then, thank you and have a great day.